Yeah, I did see you come in here this time, and I'm a little better rested. Yeah, welcome to another honest thoughts, where it's kind of a live blog, a new concept. I'm trying out. I review two crowdfunded books, and compare them, show the plus and the good points and the points that need to improvement. And where I compare it with another one. Last time I did Hadashi No Gen Volume 4. It's a manga versus Graveyard Shift Volume 4. That's an American graphic novel with more in the superhero trend, where the other is more of an historical fiction slash autobiography, and could be considered a giant peace pamphlet. But that's because the mangaka was actually lived through through hard times, through the World War, and and saw the effects of the radiation of bones being turned into radioactive cesium with his own eyes. Or you don't want to imagine. It's realistic, both realistic and dark, but I recommend it to everyone who loves it. But back on topic. The first one that we're going to review is one that I actually read 2 times. I didn't enjoy it. I tried to enjoy it, but it's how do you say that? First one is Brutas the Badass. It's a graphic novel, American graphic novel by no other than Donald DeLay, and created and illustrated by Donald DeLay, co-plot by Nasser Rabadi, and colored by Theo Gonzalez, lettered by Eric Weathers, good letterer. He does almost all the lettering in CG. This is a CG book. It's one that I backed. But, I get my thoughts later. But it's dedicated to his mother, his wonderful wife, and his 12 kids, Amy and Logan, and Mr. Dinger for having faith, and Andrew Huerta, and special thanks to EVS, the so-called Caesar of CG. It's clear we have had 2 different ways of work. That our approach to creating is slightly different, and politically we might disagree completely. He's more of a conservative guy. I'm more of a moderate. There's we don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to we don't have to be the best buddies, but he's a good artist, but he kind of needs an editor. Let me say that. And this one's nothing different. It's kind of fits in the cultural landscape. Toxic masculinity, and as you might see here is Brutas, that's the main character. He kind of there's 2 things that look quite familiar to me, almost too familiar. One, he is kind of like Lobo, but with an Elvis kind of haircut. I mean, the influences are quite obvious. Is it also the way he talks, his mannerisms, get back your snapper hat, are kind of like, in the trend of what you would expect in a Lobo, in one of those old Lobo comics from the 80s, 90s, and early zeros, I think. He's a bounty hunter, and he hunts aliens. It kind of goes sort of pretty okay. Art is okay, it's not really my thing, but it looks itself by itself how it flows. So that's good, but here's his crazy ex-girlfriend, Delilah. Confused as a sister. Yeah. Could have been, designed a little. Could have used over here. Could have. I mean, her her upper body, breasts, etc. look nice, but the face is kind of off-putting. Could have used more work. I mean, this one looks good over here, where she picks up the cigar and smells it. But then we go over here, and she looks like this. Alright, she looks like what's she here? Her body, but her portions are kind of off. So yeah, we're going to the next one. It's okay. But it's okay. It's not really. We're going to further. Now she currently looks like this. Otherwise it looks like certainly different like this. And one of her puppies attacks. Yeah, it's... And yeah, my splash page. This one I like. But then we go to this panel and her face is completely off. That's yeah. Some foreplay. It turns out what it used to be. And then we go to this. That's I like it and I don't like it, but it's what matters is the story, is the writing itself. And here, yeah, it tries all kinds of different haircuts. Wolverine kind of haircut, punk-like, other things. This one, someone I will never buy back a book again. I know it's more than obvious who this is. I'll never back this guy again. Come on. Also another where it was. And there are some good things. The flow is there, but it kind of feels off. This okay to look at, but reading it is like this. And some elephants, well, the brain freeze elements are kind of too much in your face. I mean, there's some good elements in it, but things like where it was. Here it is. It's a tight pull off a 4th wall break, but yeah. I'm the main antagonist dummy. Of course I'm not dead by page 29. I mean, readers are not stupid. I mean, you could have... she's not dead, and yeah. She pulls the chain, but it's more obvious what she does. We don't need. This is something you show, you don't tell it. But yeah, it's kind of it's kind of an inside joke. I get it. But yeah, it feels kind of like this. But overall, yeah, it's something, yeah. So I got. It's kind of like this, yeah. It's an okay read, but once again, with a lot of CG books, it's not really that. It's no. It's art is the art is there. There are some hiccups here and there, and yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a book made out of love for the medium. It kind of feels out of spite in certain areas. So yeah, like this, to push like male feminists. I kind of like those jokes here and there, but I'm reading this kind of dialogue on the internet almost on a daily basis, and as much as I hate the woke crowd, this one tried to, considering the I completely forgot when I backed it. It tries to pander to the anti-woke to the SJW crowd in certain areas, but it feels more like the art is there in certain place, but it feels more like a comic made out of spite than actual love for the medium. That's my only and some influences like design, etc. It's basically Lobo, but with something extra with it. The thing with why Lobo worked is because one, he's always been an anti, just like this one, it's been an anti-hero character who is also a bounty hunter who blew up his the original series when he was created by DC. He kind of blew up his home planet as part of a science project, but those kind of jokes worked because it fitted in the right time, it fitted during the right time, the right place, and it was well developed, well written. With this, it's kind of I mean, the influence are sometimes a little too on the nose, and certain parts and certain dialogue. Yeah, like I said, I see those dialogue. I see those type of dialogues all the time on the internet, etc. And I hear it all the time. Yeah, maybe I'm spending too much time on social media as well. But I wanted to see the I just want to read a good. I just want to read a good story. I want to see the same dialogue. I want to see the same dialogue from the anti-woke crowd. As much as I want to see the things of the woke crowd in books, it's not always necessary. And with this, it kind of feels too forced in certain areas. So this one. It's hit or miss. There are some people that like it, but this one just didn't do it for me as much. And also it arrived quite late as well. But this is what it is. The second one is one that I was actually pretty excited for, but Mike. The fan of Dark Side Comics and Genuine Comics kind of warned me about this one, and I'll get to that later. Thomas Valiant, Butty Man, has long ago lost count of the number of faces he's taken. It's become nature for him to blend in with the crowd, to watch and wait for one moment when no one is looking to change into something else, or someone else. He's hid himself from friends and foes alike. Even his allies in the Legion of Justice have only ever seen his cover. A clown. He's played the part so well that sometimes he's gotten caught up in it, but still he's never forgotten his training as a soldier and spy. In the words of his mentor, your greatest strength is deception. Never stop using it. Never allow them to see your true face. This is the touchstone that reshapes Valiant, so Thomas Valiant, Batman. Without him even thinking, this is why he guards himself against the world. But not long ago, he began to question what this has truly changed him into. When he looked into the mirror, he didn't like what he was seeing, and so he began the hardest transformation of his life. Thomas Valiant, the soldier and spy, would die, and who would now become Thomas Valiant, the hero. Well, at first face value, it starts out good. Gives him a little bit of an roster. No, how do we go? of his team. Thomas Valiant, Bodyman. This is aka Bodyman, Phantasm, Ostrich, Feral, Disc, and Pulse. And on the other hand, we have the Legion. This one is Tecton. That was a little too much like the Atom, or like Captain Atom and Dr. Manhattan. It's more of a cyborg. And Ram is basically a rip, kind of a little too inspired by the Rhino. Nothing escapes the Ram. Well, the Rhino doesn't sleep either. Rage, Kid Fox is kind of a mix between Wolverine, Batman, and Catman, I think. Blue Skies. Let's put it closer here. Wait. There we go. Right. Blue Skies is kind of like an good/evil Superman. I couldn't even find what it was a good or evil Superman. And the Jays. It starts with straight into the action, where Thomas faces against Tecton. But then you go to this part. I mean, the art is I forgot who the people are. The writer is R.G. Shaw from the 4th Age. Artist Renzo Rodriguez. He did an amazing job with the splash page. Cover art Nick Axe. Colors by Paul Billick and Ibrahim Aydin. Letters once again Eric Weathers. And copy editor Christina Lynn. Once a double spread. Looks good, but it could use a little bit more detail. His facial expression here is kind of inconsistent. So yeah, they're fighting the Legion, and starting to Tecton is not impressed, and basically how Thomas Valiant's character works is he's kind of a mix between let's say that will become obvious here against like a mix between Mr. Fantastic, a little bit of Venom in it, and a little bit of Tony Stark, but he's the poor version of it. But he fights against the Legion, and here it is. No one stops the run. It's kind of what the fan of Genuine Comics etc. said. It is if you like these types of stories, it's good. So more power to you. And here, the Jays are our villain team. Remind me a little too much of the Outlaws. I mean, this could have been Red. This with the red mask here. This could have been Red Hood. The other one, This could have been I've been Raven or Kid Robin, so Damian Wayne. And some other guys. Third group now, and this is Kid Fox, who's kind of a mix between Wolverine, as you can see, a mix between Wolverine and Batman and some other characters. And this is Blue Skies. I'll say. Art looks, the art is decent, once again good. I mean, Renzo really did a great job on it. And this is the first chapter. Chapter 2, This is basically how the story begins. As you can see, it's not really good visible with a smartphone. But the transformation for him begins here, those 2 pages. And it's like I said, he's kind of a mix between either Tony Stark, Miss Fantastic, Bruce Wayne type of character. But with a lot less money and more. He's being a little reckless, but he's going. As you can see here, he's He basically uses his powers to change the shape to either, just like Mr. Fantastic, to transform himself into a ball and launch himself at his enemies, or to camouflage his the other guys. And yeah. This kind of a page. I also saw it during in one of the Fantastic Four volumes of yeah, let's say one of the Fantastic Four volumes that I read, that I borrowed from the library, where yeah, they were doing the wedding of Sue Storm and Reed Richards. But yeah, it's kind of worse in context, but here it kind of assumes that you already know everyone around here. But yeah, still it's not really a character that I feel for. Try to and what they're basically trying to break into is to steal the golden statue of the god, so-called God 4. And yeah, also tries to triangulate the position to get the golden statue away. And yeah, try to get it through. And here, yeah, this kind of does the Dark Phoenix thing, where she turns evil for some reason and faces off against Pulse on the next page with this explosion. The call goes to chapter 3. So yeah, that's dan kind of yeah, mix between this once again, yeah, blue skies, attacks the van, and yeah, Bodyman or Valiant shoots himself out of the. So for this, gotta keep quiet. Launches himself out of the van. Yeah, towards his enemies, but yeah, the thing gets blown up. So yeah, he's currently fighting against blue skies, but tries to kill him with those green stones are a little too close to right here in the circle. They're running a little too much of kryptonite. Throws him away, and here's the big good guy or big bad guy. I couldn't figure it out. Thor that faces unless we were attracted to the slums, but yeah. So their Thor shows up. And boom. Suddenly Ostrich seems to be lethally wounded from the explosion. And yeah. And Thor basically beats the hell out of everyone. This version of Thor, at least. God of Thunder. But yeah, one character dies. That's it. And yeah, the face off. Puts up a good fight, but the question is, what are they even fighting for? Why are they even fighting each other? Actually, the motives are kind of yeah, fake to me. But yeah. This with the death, this kind of an yeah, this Icarus, and yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Hawkman. like I said, there's... I lost count of how many characters are in here. For real. I said the epilogue is basically where the team is born. Due to Ostrich kind of predicted how it would go on. And it's a funeral scene, the epilogue. Copyright goes to the rightful owners. I don't own any of it. But yeah. Of course, the wife Ostrich is not amused about it and bitch slaps him. And leaves him a letter. And that goes straight into the next issue. Or the next graphic novel, such as separate issues. And there he comes up with the name of the team, the Valiant Heroes. And here's some some black and white art to end it. Hope the camera's high enough. This works better if I'm turn the camera around. But yeah. So like I said, I know there are three chapters in it, and yeah, like I said, it's a typical superhero comic inspired by the Marvel heroes of old, like I said, the Fantastic Four, the New Warriors, etc. But yeah, the problem lies a little bit in yeah, there are a little too much characters into it. I know there are 3 chapters in it, and I get it. It was combined into one, but it is okay, but it kind of assumes that you already know the full roster here. And yeah, something they did in the next campaign, in their following up campaign, that's still in the month, I think, not sure, where they basically told separate stories of all the heroes and the characters separately, so you could get personally, I don't mind this. I don't really mind this approach, but I think the origin stories in the next volume, and separate, also sold as separate issues on Indiegogo, kind of showed the origin stories of all those heroes and villains / anti-heroes, and also the backstory of this version of 4. But there's some things in it let's say it was kind of fake why they were even fighting him, and yeah, some influence were a little bit like Mike, or like the fan of Gen Comics told me I need to. I understood where he came from now that I've read the full thing. Is some influence are a little bit too on the nose. Icarus kind of remind me a little bit too much of Hawkman. The Ram a little bit too much of Rhino. Tacton could be an Ultron / Captain Atom / Dr. Manhattan. Yeah. And yeah, Body Man was basically a kind of a mix between the Tony Stark, or the Batman character, and yeah, Mr. Fantastic, and the Clintar, or the symbiotes. I wouldn't mind as much, but it was indeed a little too on the nose, and certain places the art and the writing needs a little bit more polishing. And some panels, like pages like this one, I mean, like this one, I don't see the page number in, but look at it. There's a lot of text on it, and here's the elevator. They walk into the elevator, goes down like an arrow and goes up here. I know this could be a thing in American comics, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. I waited this guy could have been like this guy. This guy could have been Ray Palmer, the Atom. But it's this guy could have been Black Lightning. The other guy next to him could have been Black Lightning, but I personally would have put that the page is a little bit too crowded. I personally would have put this where the arrow is. Goes from there. I would put that on a separate page, maybe separate panel, and let them go down under, like on a big splash. Doesn't have to be a big splash. Could have been separated into 3 or 4 panels. A splash would look nice and give more detail to the elevator, for example, and the rest of the heroes going down. But yeah, like I said, it's not a bad. Like I said, it just comes like me blasting this book into oblivion. That's not my intention. It's more like I got a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of characters in it, and yeah, something that did right in the next campaign is it kind of assumes that there are some influences that are a little bit too on the nose. It's for all ages. The thing is, for all ages is good, but yeah, there are some influences that are a little bit too on the nose. Art looks fantastic once again, but yeah, in terms of writing, it is okay compared to Brutas. The writing is slightly better, but there's still room for improvement. And yeah, I wish that a little bit more. Yeah, how you call that? Not more consistent, but yeah. You have a lot of characters, like I said in a few moments ago. There's a lot of characters in it. But yeah, it was hard for me to keep track of everything. I had been focused on only the team of Bodyman, etc. And it was kind of fake. Why were they even fighting for? What has he done to them? It's kind of part of a separate team, I know, but is he the villain? Is he the hero? Some things were difficult to follow because there were a lot of characters in it, and certain pages where the artwork needed a little more polishing. And some pages were like with the elevator, could have done with less and put the elevator scene on a separate page. And if you like these type of stories from the Fantastic Four, etc., previous ages, I would compare them. Brutas more for the anti-heroes, and close to the people who like Lobo, for example, with Deadpool. But it's it's kind of made out of Brutus kind of made out of spite. Thomas Valiant is kind of mere tries to pander a little bit more to the nostalgia of the old Marvel comics, and especially the Fantastic Four. But yeah, there were some scenes like that, like the meeting of all the team of with Thor and with the rest that was separate from Thomas Valiant's team. That will be called the Valiant Heroes. This campaign is now live on Indiegogo for the ones who want to check out. Personally, I'm not that interested in it, but maybe if you like this type of stories, I would pick this one. But those types of pages with all those characters around here, it worked in the old volumes of Fantastic Four, because a lot of characters were already well established and had their separate arcs going on at the time, and had some years, maybe decades to develop them, so people are more familiar with it. Here I have less. I feel I only felt bad for Ostrich. His death was unfortunate, but it's kind of it was hard for me to keep track of who was who. There's a lot of things going on. Yeah, maybe a little too much characters in it, and certain pages could use improvement. But those things work because they were already established. Here, they're kind of doing this a little better approach with the new campaign, the Valiant Heroes, but I think it could have worked better if now they're kind of doing the same thing like with Batman versus Superman, for example, and kind of with also the Jawbreakers Lost Souls is it sometimes assumes that you already know everything when I know this tiny bit. Let's take a sip again. It's kind of herbal tea. It's called chamomile. Hope I spelled it right. But it kind of assumes that you already know everything already. But what Thomas Valiant, it could have been worked better if they did the Valiant heroes first. Tell their origin stories separately, like this, in the first campaign. And move the first book to the second one. Because it could have kept it could bolt it up a little better and keep people more interested in it. But between those two, I can't recommend Brutas, unfortunately. It's a little too on the nose at times, and so from problems I explained that where Lobo works because it works in the time setting, and because of the time it was published in setting, etc. And Joseph work because they fit the right context. Here this felt kind of a little bit the dialogue feels kind of I don't want to read the same dialogue that I read online all day about SJW this and ISJW that, those kind of things. But so compare those two. This one was Brutus felt was a little bit made out of spite. Thomas Valiant felt like it had at least a little bit more effort in it. There's some room for improvement. So Brutus gets 5 out of 10. This kind of Thomas Valiant. I think out of all those two, it's kind of a difficult thing to decide who is the book to pick up, who is to recommend. I can give this one a soft recommend, 6 out of 10. And if you want to find out, I'm personally not that interested in it. But if you want to find, because a lot of things I've already seen before. It's nothing really, it's not bad. It's just not solid 2 on the nose. But if you want to see how the rest turns out, I'm putting it back in the bag. The Valiant Heroes is still Valiant Heroes. It's still available on Indigo. It's in demand right now. I don't know when it closes, but of these two books, I give Thomas Valiant the edge. It was a book I at least there were a lot of good things in it, but there were some things that could have been polished a little bit better, and with a different approach, like putting the origin stories of the characters before releasing this graphic novel could have worked better, but the price a little bit more built up, etc. And unlike Brutas, it arrived within 2 years, so credit where credit is due. So Thomas Valiant gets the edge. Because I didn't like Brutas. And with this I'll say good night. I'll be streaming Into the Breach later. After this video, when this video is uploaded, I'll probably be either sleeping or playing Into the Breach or preparing my lunch for tomorrow because I have work to do. And they were my honest thoughts. Like I said, one felt made out of spite. The other one kind of reminded me of the old Fantastic Four comics. So it took a lot, but it took sometimes a little bit too much inspiration and assumed you already knew everything. And it's still kind of fake. Why are they fighting Thor? What has he done to them? But those are my thoughts. Soft recommend for this one. Once again, I'll see you guys on the next one. Next week maybe. And my name's Spoorhacker. See you guys on the next one. And want to give it a look, it's if you want the Valiant Heroes to give it a look, you can check out the campaign. I'll put the links down, or in the month, and I could put the link down in the description if you want to. Also put the link down for Brutas. So yeah, despite everything, I didn't like it, but it is it's what it is. You can't always like the same thing. And yeah, that was it. Nice Spore Hacker once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.